1792, Flake, Samuel Gawith. I remember I bought this. This is one that I'm going into blind. I've read the back of the tin, but that's, it says a full strength dark fired scented tobacco. So does that mean it's dark fired tobacco and is scented? Or does that mean that it is scented? It's a dark fired scent. Why would they put a dark fired scent? That wouldn't make sense. On tobacco, it's tobacco. Just use dark fired tobacco, right? Anyhow, I'm not sure. I don't dark Kindle Flake. I'm not sure what this is. This jumped out at me. The initial reason that I bought it was because it's pretty simple. It's 1792, and it's got a man riding a horse on it. Well, 1792 is the year that Kentucky was made a state, and this is horse country, as well as being tobacco country. It'd be interesting to know which came. Well, the horse came first, I'm sure, right? They had to ride horses up in here. I don't know. Anyways, for that reason alone, I'm a Kentuckian. Very, very proud to be a Kentuckian. And 1792, it's got a horse on the front. Go Kentucky, man. That's pretty much sums up why I bought this. I don't know anything about it. That's why I got it. Plain and simple. The reason why I've had it for a while now. The reason why I decided to go ahead and crack it open, which I'll do here, is because I've been on this Virginia run and it's been delicious, but I'm getting a little weary of the Virginias right now. And I'm not smoking my codgers because I paused Albert to move on to the next item in the codger list, which is half and half. And after sitting around with half and half for a while, I've decided I don't like it. I don't care much for it at all. Gives me headaches. It makes my pipes smell like a cigarette ashtray. I get bad tongue bite from it for some reason. It aggravates my sinuses. The flavor is okay. There's just a lot to it that's kind of like, yeah, not a big fan of half and half. Donnie did say, let it hang out in the truck. He said he throws his in the truck for a couple weeks, lets it dry out a bit. So I'll probably try that. I'll air it out and let it sit for a while. Anyhow, I'm not smoking my favorite codger. I've got Albert on the back shelf for right now, back burner. I'm getting a little weary of the Virginias. I love them, but I'm kind of getting tired of those for now. And I don't have the Burley. I wanted to hit a Burley up next. But what's interesting for me is since I've gotten into this Virginia thing that has it's helped teach me to really slow down my smoking. I'm finding more detail. I'm finding more flavors. My tongue is reacting differently to darker, heavier tobaccos than it has been. And lately I've been really craving something dark and heavy. And typically I would go for Latakia stuff. I would go for really rich, heavy Englishes. And those aren't scratching the itch. I'm wanting something else that doesn't have the Oriental, that doesn't have the Latakia, but still has like a dark, rich kind of thing. So I cracked open Mississippi River by Seattle Pipe Club, and it's blowing my mind. I'll do a review on that. That tobacco is really, really, really good. But I wanted something else. It says dark Kindle Flake. It says dark fired on the back. I am eventually going to do a dark fired run. So maybe this would fall in that category. I don't know. I know it's a very popular one. A lot of people like this one. And I did read somewhere, somebody on a forum mentioned 1792, and they said something about Tonkin. It's got Tonkin in it, or on it, or Tonkin bean, or Tonquin. So, not sure what a Tonkin bean or a Tonkin is. We'll find out. It could be something that I've heard that word before. Could be something that I have encountered and I didn't know that's what it was called. Let's see. 1792 Flake. Dark Kindle Flake by Samuel Gawith. See if we get a pop. This thing is like really, it's really pressed together. Like really pressed together. This thing is really pressed together. Okay. Where you at? Okay. There's got to be a way to open this. You gotta be kidding me, dude. This thing is sealed tight, bro. Yeah, I'm not holding my mouth the right way. I don't want to spill it everywhere. I can't believe how hard it is to open this thing. What am I supposed to do? You gotta be kidding me. Oh, okay. Yeah. It did all that noise. Okay. Man, that thing was... Lord. Let me move. I don't want to spill this stuff. Okay. There's a cool little card in here. Ooh. Okay, that reminds me of... It is a dark tobacco. What does that remind me of? It reminds me of an aromatic. One of those house blends from Indiana. One of those aromatics had this kind of a scent. Man, it smells good. Gawith, Hogarth and Company. It's got this cool little... Here, I'll show you. For those who haven't seen it, it's got this cool little card in there. Shows, I guess this would be the original Gawith, Hogarth and Company. What would you call a tobacco? Okay, here we go. It just pops out. Okay. I'm saving that little dude. Man, this smells good. This is a... What is it? I love this because so many of these blends smell like something really familiar and you can't really figure it out. It takes you a while. Packaging looks like this beneath the card. I don't know, some people care to see that. When I'm, I don't know, maybe it matters. This is a dark flake. This is very dark in color. What in the world, man? What? What is this? What? Oh, it's... Oh... Hold on. It's chocolate. It's but like rich, like it's like a European. Oh, who is it that makes This is the kind of chocolate you encounter in a lot of European candies. Man, this smells good. This smells, here, it's dark. It's very dark colored. I don't want to spill it. It's very dark colored. On the camera, it almost looks black. It's not. It looks like beef jerky, basically. It's not an overpowering smell. It's not like aromatics where it's really hitting you in the face. This is kind of subdued, like it's there, but what is that? It reminds me immediately of something something I've had in a restaurant. Man, this is good smelling stuff. I would eat this. I mean, this is gonna... I don't even want to light it up yet. I just want to keep smelling it, man. Oh, okay. Does not taste at all like it smells. This is interesting. This is a different game right here. This is a different. Do I want to break where? We'll break it up in the lid. Man, the original note, the original smell is kind of fading a little bit already. It's relatively, I wouldn't say wet. It's moist, we'll say, but it doesn't feel like moist tobacco. It feels almost gummy. It looks like beef jerky. It's shredding apart. I don't know if you can see this. It's like shredding up like beef jerky, but only it's got like a gummy feel to it without being sticky. This is different. This I have not encountered a tobacco that feels or smells anything like this. Dark fired scented tobacco. Does that mean dark fired and scented, or scented with dark fired? That doesn't smell like what I've had that's labeled as dark fired. Let me try and really break this stuff. I think it might be better not to rub it all out that fine. As gummy as it is. I feel like with it being this gummy, it's either going to have a really hard time lighting or it's going to go up in flames, man. I don't feel like there's going to be a middle ground here. Slightly tacky. This is an interesting one. This is different. This is different. Okay, well, I cleaned my Nording. This is my new Eric Nording that I bought. This is my Phoenix pipe. I try to get a souvenir pipe every major city I go to. This is Rick, my Phoenix pipe. I cleaned it out to try this blend. I'm going to pack a light bowl. I'm not going to go all the way to the top with this stuff. This is different, man. What in the world? Mm-mm. Does not taste like it smells. Not even close. Okay. Hold on. 1792 Flake. Almost cigar-like, not quite. Bordering on harsh, but not quite. Okay. It's it's too wet. I'm pretty sure it's too wet because it keeps trying to go out. I can't taste much of it because I'm not sipping it, and I can't seem to sip it without it going out on me. I think I need to dry it out. It's too early. It's too early. I'm not getting anything off of it, other than there's a slight. I wouldn't call it sweetness, but there's a slight taste that would typically be found with sweetness. It doesn't come across as a casing or a topping or anything like that. Um, I'm not tasting much of anything except a muted generic smoke kind of taste. There's some other element in there that reminds me of the Bayou Night, meaning it's very earthy, very heavy, almost musty, but not even defined or pronounced enough to even call it musty. It's way more vague than that. It's just dark. I mean, that's what I was asking for, right? It's too early to tell. It's too early to say anything about this. I'm not getting enough to say anything about it. There is some kind of a flavor that is not really what I was smelling in the tin. It's something that you would expect from a dessert. It's almost like a soapy, perfumey kind of thing. Is that our friend Tonkin? I don't know. I mean, the tin smells great, man. I have learned that when the time is right and the smoke is right, you usually can find a way to taste what you're smelling in the tin. Early on, that wasn't happening much, but I've figured out that it can if you approach it the right way. What is that? The tin smells very familiar. It's heavy. It feels heavy and dense in the can. I need to do a dark fired run. I want to do one because I don't understand. I don't understand it. Simple and plain. I don't get it. I'm getting to where I can recognize a dark fired taste, and I think I recognize a taste in a lot of tobaccos that I think is dark fired, um, but I'm not. It just tastes like a cigar, and I'm not understanding how that element is supposed to blend with other tastes. I don't understand. I'm assuming that it's similar to the way that a good light char on a steak works nicely, right? I'm assuming it's a similar kind of thing going on, but I don't see the marriage. I don't see. Yeah, yeah. It's too wet. It's too wet because when I can manage to sip it, I'm getting more of that flavor, the Tonkin, I guess. I'm getting more of that. It's light. It reminds me of Innerdale. It's like a package. It's like a packaging for something. I'm getting further in the bowl. I'm starting to get some kind of flavor. I'm starting to get, it's opening up a little bit. What I'm getting is an artificial flavor, almost like perfume, but not quite, which reminds me of Innerdale. Um, that taste is something like some kind of packaging that I've smelled before, like some kind of plastic wrap or something. It's a very superficial, or I mean, artificial kind of taste. Very, very small measure. Yeah, this is not one you're going to do. This is one that's going to take a while. This is going to take a while to open up and understand this one, just to kind of get a bearing here. This is going to be like another Bayou night where you gotta sit with this for a while before you can even tell what what it's doing. How to sum up what I'm tasting right now? This is a not so harsh cigar taste with a perfume like element that reminds me of some kind of plastic packaging, some kind of artificial man made material that isn't quite sterile. That's all I'm getting from it right now. Almost waxy. The feeling on your tongue, on your teeth, is a hint of like a waxy kind of a feeling. It's fairly strong on the nicotine. I can tell that already. I'm going to finish this bowl, let it get down to the bottom, feel it out a little more. I will have to do a revisit of this one. Um, Samuel Gawith's 1792 Flake. There it is again. I think it's a cool label. Very simple. Not what you would call pretty. But it looks cool. I dig it, man. It's kind of retro looking. Um, yeah, I'm gonna have to sit down with this for a little while and soak this one up before I can really even give a first impression of it. Right now, I feel like I'm peeking through a door that's kind of cracked, and I can't make out enough of what's in there to tell you what my glance is. Um, yeah, so I'm gonna sit with this a bit, and then eventually maybe come back and give a more a better idea of what I'm encountering with this one. That's an interesting one.